Hi guys, it's Claire. I am really excited for today's video because I'm going to be leading you guys in a painting session. But it's not going to be like any painting session that you would normally do. We're going to be using washable markers as watercolor, and we're going to be painting a little tree and some grass and some wind. And I'm gonna challenge you guys to follow along as best you can and then take a picture and let me see your artwork. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun during my painting tutorial, and I hope to see your artwork. All right, to get started, you need a cup of water, a few paintbrushes, but really you would only need one. So whatever kind of paintbrush you have. Lots of different colors of markers. We're going to be using brown, black, blue, green, and some reds. So I'm going to use a red marker, a light pink marker, and like a neon pink marker. But if you don't want to use these colors, that's totally fine. You don't have to. I have a lot of different colors that I can choose from, but those are the colors that we're going to use. I also have a lot of paintbrushes. As I said a little bit before, we only need one paintbrush. I'm going to be using two paintbrushes. They're a little bit smaller, so we're going to use a smaller paintbrush. We have some detail work that we're going to do. But let's get started. So we're going to use our brown. Okay, we're gonna draw a tree. So this is how you draw a tree. You make it wider at the top, and then it's like one big branch for a while. Okay, so that's how you start the tree. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw thicker branches going out. Okay. Okay, now that we have most of our branches drawn, we're going to draw some smaller branches. So these are going to be the spindly little ones that make a tree look like a tree, because this doesn't look like a tree right now, right? So we're going to draw. You can do these branches however you want. Really make them look like trees, okay? And you want to make sure that you are making them very thick, and then a little bit less thick, and then just a little bit less thick, so it looks like they're branches. So you know on a tree how the trunk is really, really thick, and then the branches that came straight from the trunk are a little bit thicker, but then you get down to like the little twigs and stuff, and they're very thin. You can break them. So that's what we want. We want to make sure that we're looking at this tree and we're saying, oh yeah, that does look like a tree. So we're trying to really make it look like a tree here, okay? You can draw these branches wherever you want. You don't have to follow where I'm putting my branches, because I'm just doing it randomly. All right, so that is my rough tree. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put some lines in here. Color it just a little bit so that the watercolor has some color to work with. And here we go. So you see I got some splotches on my paper because I've been writing and it stamped on my paper. That is okay. We're gonna have accidents while we paint, but you just gotta work with them and you gotta be proud of what you get, okay? So now we're taking some of our water and we're gonna paint the tree. You can start with the trunk, you can start with the branches if you want. You can do whatever you want. Okay? And when we get to some of the thinner branches, I'm gonna switch to a different paintbrush, but you do not have to do that. You can do whatever you want. This is your painting. You can make it however you like. If you want all of the branches to be kind of thick, then go for it. But we're gonna put a lot of water on here, so make sure that you keep your paintbrush pretty wet because then it'll really look like watercolor. So make sure that you've colored in all your branches with some water. Because that's how it looks like watercolor. That's what we want. We want it to look like watercolor. And if you miss some, you can always go back and add some water to it later if you find out that you've missed a branch. All right, I think we finished. And that's looking really good. I do hope to see all of yours. Okay, now we're gonna do our grass. So we are going to get some green and we are just going to willy-nilly make some grass. Because once we get some watercolor on here, that's going to take some of these harsh lines away. It's not going to look like this. So, color in your grass, make it look really good, and then we're going to take our paintbrush and we're going to I'm going to use my other one. We're going to watercolor. We're going to watercolor away. Make sure that you're getting a lot of water on here, okay? So, the green inside the tree, where the green and the brown overlaps, that may be a little bit harder to watercolor because it's already gotten wet. That's okay. Does that look like grass to you guys? Maybe if I do little spikes, it would look more like grass, right? All right. So Our grass is pretty much finished. Can add some more color or more paint, more water to the places that still look a little bit markery. But we are about done. And that is some good looking grass, right? All right. So now that we're done with the grass, we are going to start on our blossoms on our tree. So this tree is a spring tree. So we are going to put some red blossoms on our spring tree, because in the spring, trees flower. They don't just get leaves. Sometimes they get flowers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to color around our branches. Don't worry, we're going to watercolor this. We're going to watercolor this later. So it's not going to look like this. If you want to just do dots, you can also do dots. Make sure you're not coloring over the branches just yet. And see where I got my accident over here? I'm just going to color over it with some marker. Alright, now that our blossoms are pretty finished, oops, I missed a spot. Some of these places are a little bit harder to get the flowers to, and that's okay. Because we are going with what we got, okay? So now that our blossoms are done, see if you can still see that. We are going to take our brush and we're going to paint those in. So make sure that we have these blended pretty well. And we're just gonna go for it. If you want to add pink, you can add some pink. Give it some extra pizzazz. And remember, we are using a lot of water. Okay? And it's okay if your paper crinkles up. That's just what water does to paper. I'm using a special kind of paper, but you do not need a special kind of paper to do this. All right, so we are about done with our flowers. If you are not done, you can keep working because we just have one more thing to do and then we are done with our picture, and then we can sign it and we can show it off to everybody else, okay? So our next thing is we're gonna take some black, okay? And we're just gonna draw a tiny little swing. Tiny, tiny swing for everybody so that we can enjoy our tree on our swing. And we're not going to use as much water on this, okay? Because it looks weird if we add too much water, but we're still going to add some water. We're just going to okay. And there is our tree. So now we can sign down at the bottom. I'm going to sign my name. And we are artists. I am so glad that you guys came along with me and watched me paint or followed along and painted your own tree. So I want to challenge you guys again, as I said in the beginning of this video, that I want to see these pieces of art. I want to see how you guys did. I want to see what different things that you did to your own tree that maybe I didn't even think about. Take a picture of your tree and let your parents see it, and then post it in the comments below. I want to see how you guys did. All right, well, I'll see you guys later.